Hello and welcome to another edition of the JabJab Show. Today I'm sat over here, and today's video is a little idea I had a while back on my channel, and I'm going to bring it back. It's called My Two Pences, which is basically my opinions on certain things within the world of retro games, that like current news and whatever. And I talk about them and my my opinions, like I say, and to hopefully if I want to spark a bit of little conversation with other people, all subscribers and whatever. Today's video is all about Sega Forever, so I'll be talking about that, and what my feelings on that, and if you know about it, and all the rest of it. So stay tuned for that.
Welcome to your doom. Shut it and get over here. Massive uppercuts!
So Sega have recently rolled out a platform called Sega Forever, which is a thing which allows you to download most of Sega's games, from all consoles and handhelds and whatever, throughout the years onto your Android or iOS powered smartphones. If you check out their advert on the Sega Forever website, it's very reminiscent of the early 90s Sega adverts they used to put up, in the UK at least. Anyone in the US, go watch it and let me know down below if it's anything similar to what you had in the US. But yeah, it's quite irreverent and whatever, it's all good fun. It takes me back, like I say, to them days. Anyhow, so I'd say the advert suggests that all the consoles are covered, including the SG-1000, which people who might not know, it was their first console. I think it was Japan only. I've not played too much of it, so I'll be interested to see stuff like that rolled out onto the this platform to see what's going on. But the games that first released are, I've got them down here. They're Sonic the Hedgehog, Kid Chameleon, Altered Beast, Fantasy Star 2, and Comic Zone. Some pretty good stuff, some pretty averagey stuff there. The thing is, these games that I've just said have all been re-released multiple times on various compilations and whatever for Xbox 360, PS3, and I'll even go further back and what have you. And these are all free as well. I mean, the games released so far are all Mega Drive games. So I downloaded Sonic the Hedgehog just see what's going on and what have you. And I say it's all free, but you get adverts there. Adverts for various things, and you can pay $1.99 for advert-free game. I think it's per game $1.99, which seems a bit extortionate, but there we go. What's really frustrating about this is how to play the game. The actual buttons that are on the actual the screen, the gameplay screen. You're not like the screen's there and the buttons are on the side. It's actually where you in the area where you're playing. So it's not. I don't find it as responsive as it should be. I kind of find it frustrating, and I found this with a lot of games. Like this that aren't designed for mobile gaming, because obviously these are made back 1991 for Sonic, and obviously the games back in the day and stuff, they were built for controllers where you have precise controls and you can jump and you can time your jump, and you can stop. In Sonic you can jump, then you can kind of stop your jump, go. It's kind of hard to explain, but when you've played it so many times and you got it in your head and mapped out the levels and stuff, when you play it, personally, I couldn't do it. I think I get frustrated with it because it's not doing what I wanted to do, kind of thing. And this is the problem with this, I find, because there's two things that for me make or break a system, as in a console computer. First is the games. First and foremost is the games. You've got to have games on it, otherwise it wouldn't sell. The secondly is the controls. If the controls don't work, or the game itself is, for whatever reason the controls don't work on the game is bad. Sonic the Hedgehog is not a broken game, but it is on here because like I say, the controls are so different, kind of thing, with the thing. And Sega have come out and saying if certain games are going to be kind of augmented so it can allow itself to be working on the smartphone, but I don't know if that'll just make the game too different, kind of thing, because if you go on up playing these games, a certain game, and you're now told if you want to play it on the smartphone, but you have to kind of like reuse. Your head's. I don't know if people will be able to get past that. I don't think, no, I'm pretty sure I won't. I say we've mentioned on the website that you can use a wireless controller, to play the games, which is kind of cool, but it kind of goes against the mobileness or the on the go-ness or something of the playing the game. You've got to have a controller with you. You can't really you either got to do that or prop your phone up somehow, and whether the phone itself will recognise that you use a controller and the virtual buttons on the screen will go so you can actually see what you're doing. Not too sure. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog is a relatively simple game to play. It's mainly like left, right, and jump. Yeah, you can look up and down and so on, but that's kind of all you're using. And you can press down when you're running downhill and you start spinning, you go faster. That's about it. But and when Nintendo came out a couple of years ago and talking about how they're going to use mobile technology and saying you've got to kind of utilize what the smartphone is capable of, sort of thing. So when the Mario Run came out, I mean, I've not played it. I've seen gameplay footage and so on, and it looks fun. It looks like left, right, and jump kind of thing. It's the problem becomes when you got a more complex game where you haven't got just them things, and it's not just that though. Like if it is going to be all Sega games or mostly Sega games, is it going to be third party stuff as well? I mean, I don't know the copyright issues and so on, but let's say Desert Strike, okay. Desert Strike, can move all directions. You've got the 3 buttons on the 3-button controller that do different styles of guns. So you've got 3 buttons there. You press start, which brings up your map, and you can toggle through. Toggle left and right in terms of your power ups, your fuel drums, ammo. Yeah, it tells you the missions and so forth. And it's quite more involved than Sonic the Hedgehog, and it's when, and that's just Mega Drive game. We're talking it has saying like Saturn and Dreamcast games. How's it going to do the 3D stuff and all the rest of it, and more controls and what have you. And then you've got to factor in the size of the screen, and this might not be as much of an issue because apparently you can use tablets as well, Android powered and iOS tablets as well, so a bigger screen. It might not be an issue, as much of an issue, but I was thinking like, I've got a handheld 80 games of that games sort of thing, and it's got 30 Mega Drive games on, one of them which is Crackdown, which I do have anyway on the original cartridge. It's a very good game. I like it. But the actual sprites, the people that you move in, and the enemies and stuff are quite small. So when you're looking at that screen, which is not too smaller than that screen, it's quite difficult to see what you're doing. And then you got see like you've got Mercs on the Mega Drive. Again, Mega Drive, where you can move all directions and you can fire independently. I can't remember if you can fire independently of where you're looking. So if you're looking that way, you fire that way. Actually, I know you can do it on Forgotten Worlds, so I'm not sure how that's going to work because it sounds quite complex. Anyway, so all the bullets firing at you, will you be able to see that, pick them out and so on a tiny screen? And again, if you're in a tablet, it's probably not as much of a problem. But where's all these buttons going to be and stuff? What are you going to be using? And then pick. There's lots of Japanese Sega Saturn shoot 'em ups that didn't really make it over in the UK. You can get import, but there's lots of treasure games which I think did a lot of shoot 'em ups where it's very detailed. Lots of, they call it like bullet hell, where there's like a big boss throwing tons of bullets at you. And if you got all these buttons on the side and actually on the playing field, or any shoot 'em up where you got waves of aliens like kind of going in and going past you and up through and up behind you and down the side of you, and if the buttons on the screen are obscuring it, it's kind of like unfair, isn't it? You can't really and see what's going on. You just end up like getting blown up and like, well, who hit me? You know, some guy, it's some alien that's been covered by this button on the screen. You know, maybe overthinking it, I don't know, but you know, I'm thinking it's not really that feasible. And none of these games, not one of them, are designed for one of these or even a bigger version like a tablet. You know, so I'm skeptical, to be honest, about it all. But you know, I've since read there's emulator issues as well. You know, some people who are more technically minded than me have said no, there's some other, you know, Sega should have used this one instead of the one they used because this one is faster. I don't know, but you know, maybe that's the case. I don't know. So what's your opinion on the Sega Forever thing? You know, have you played it? What are your experiences? What games would you like to see on this Sega Forever? You know, what games would you think would work best for it? Because I don't know if any of the, you know, anything beyond, even a lot of the Mega Drive games, I don't think they're gonna work that as well as like with a controller and so on. And you don't want to be propping up stuff, you know, your phone and whatever. I don't know. That's me, like I say. So anyway, any comments in down the section, just let me in the comment section, should say. Just let me know all this. Always, you know, like, subscribe, comment, and hashtag and modern stuff like the youth. Just let me know down below. Tell your friends and everything. And in the words of the Osiris, send the word.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.